to take to kind of make a choice about what those energies do to you. And I think it's going to become more and more obvious as they increase and as we get closer, perhaps, to a time when we're kind of all collectively expecting change. It will become more possible to actually change and actually make some extraordinary use of those energies. I don't think we should forget that aspect of it.
You know, Bob Gleason, I think most people are good people, but the handful that isn't, those that just are not good, they sometimes overwhelm the group of us.
Well, if you want to put 2012, you're exactly right. And if you want to put 2012 in a kind of a historical context, Toynbee studied the collapse, the decline and fall of 23 civilizations, and he said what you said exactly. He said what really destroys civilizations is they go through a period of great growth and vitality, but what happens is power and money beget power and money. Power and money concentrate in fewer and fewer hands, and pretty soon that they begin exploiting the world around them. It includes wars of conquest, wars of aggression, which have to be bankrolled from within, and the creative minority that had created these civilizations and developed them, that they become oppressed, they become bled white like everybody else, and that Toynbee said that all these civilizations died by their own hand. They died through what he called suicidal statecraft. And he said that when eventually the barbarians would come to the gates, and they would storm the gates, and guess what they found when they got in? That the great civilization was Oz. It was a hollowed-out shell. It was a sham. There wasn't anything there to loot. That handful of people that you referred to, George, they'd stolen everything. They bled everything white. And that if you wanted to put 2012, you can certainly see that happening in the United States of America today, and
Absolutely.
You can see it happening throughout the Western world. And that if you want to put 2012 in a historical context, that's what history teaches us with the decline and fall of these 23 civilizations. And
Let's go to
and in terms of the spiritual awakening that could come out of this. Maybe people would wake up and realize that the money isn't everything, and in fact, the pursuit of money that was part of, I think, Christ's insight that he essentially says that money is intrinsically evil, and
he's right.
That this would be an incredible insight. Well, try telling that to a capitalistic society. And that it's because that is part of what we that's so bred into us, and Lord knows we all need money and we all have to have it to survive, and yet that it is precisely that lust for money that destroys and the power that accrues to money. That is precisely, according to Toynbee, what destroys civilizations. It's a conundrum. We need it, and yet that pursuit of it can be unbelievably destructive to a nation.
Well, because the pursuit is.
I gather from this, Bob, that George and I cannot expect any increases in our next book contracts.
I think that's what he's leading up to, Whitley.
I think no, you both sell incredibly well, and you're out your advances.
There's something that we haven't discussed tonight, and that is the fact that a very unusual asteroid, which has passed the Earth, I believe at this point we know of 6 times, called Putatis, will be passing again in December of 2012. There's not believed to be much chance that it would strike Earth, but it has a very eccentric orbit, and it's tumbling, and it's sort of shaped. It's a long object. It's about a mile long, and it kind of tumbles.
What if that was it, Whitley?
Well, exactly.
They knew.
I mean,
yeah.
It's just, the thing is that how could anyone in the distant past, no matter how advanced they were, have known it was there? Because it's just recent that recently that it's appeared. It wasn't passing the Earth 5,000 years ago, or 10,000 or 20,000 years ago. We don't know where it was.
Man, that's strange.
How did the Maya know that the galaxy was a thin spiraling disk? You cannot infer that from direct observation or from their math and science. How did they know that?
That's true.
You know, they knew all kinds of things about the heavenly bodies that we don't. And you know, we tend to dismiss out of hand, you know, divine revelation. We see it as, you know, as almost psychotic hallucinatory psychosis. They didn't. They tried to develop that. They worked very hard to develop, you know, mystic revelation, and they stared at the stars in order to do it. And that kind of revelation generated insights that we can't explain, because by definition, mystic revelation can't be explained.
Let's go to final caller, Sanger, California. Mike, you're up with us. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, George.
Hi.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Good to
I
have
just wanted to make a quick comment and a question.
Sure.
First time I heard about 2012 was on a show that was hosted by Leonard Nimoy. It was called In Search Of.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen that like in 1975, and I was just about 11 years old at the time, and it kind of blew my mind. And I figured out, hey, you know, I'm only going to be like 48 when this happens. And I don't know what's going to happen. I guess none of us do, but your guest was talking about the asteroid that's going to come close to us, Titus.
Oh, Tutatis.
Tutatis.
Yes.
And then we've got Apophis to worry about later on.
Right.
2036, that is too close to call. NASA says it's a 1 in 5,500 chance of hitting the Earth. However, given the scope and duration of its orbit, we don't really know what it's comprised of, that is too close to call. And
right.
if that thing hit Chicago, I mean, the United States of America would be in a whole world of hurt. And we could actually mount a mission in 2013, do something, put a transponder on it so we would know how close where exactly it's going to hit and when.
Well, even if it hit in the ocean.
Yeah, we could deflect. Oh, it'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
And that it'd crack the Earth's mantle, and molten magma from the Earth's core would come up and cause a horrendous disaster. We would probably be better off if it hit on land rather than the ocean. And but you know, we don't do anything. We don't mount the mission, which would, you know, put the transponder on it so we could prepare to do something about it, including bump it into another orbit. And you know, we put our heads in the sand like ostriches, and we'll say, you know, 2036. That's a long way off. It'll be on somebody else's watch.
All right, Mike. Any more follow up here?
Just that I'd heard on the History Channel that asteroid could possibly come back around in 2020 or 2036. Both dates would be on a Friday the 13th.
No.
Have you heard that?
No, I have not heard that.
They have that. There's some scientists talking about it on the History Channel, one of the Universe programs.
No, I had not heard that.
I think I had heard that, but I'm a little vague on it.
All right, next up, Stanton, California. Hello, Damien. Your turn.
Hi, yes. I'm actually a remote viewer, and I just want to talk about a couple of things that I've seen. The first thing was kind of thinking with what Whitley was saying about everyone choosing their path. I kind of see it being like the universe opening up our ability to really create whatever we want. Basically, people who want to create destruction will be offered that doorway, and they'll continue down that door. And those of us who really actually want to, ascend or, go up to a different energy vibration, we'll be able to follow that path. The universe will completely support us. But the other thing I wanted to say was that I see the laws of physics literally taking a vacation on that day, like gravity rearranging, light energy rearranging. Just the whole nature of what we think of our physical universe is just basically switching up and changing graphically. So
I'd like to quote Franz Kafka and what he said about hoping things will get better. Kafka said there is infinite hope, but not for us. And Francois Villon said we live in hope and die in despair.
Did you ever look at Hopi prophecy, Bob Gleason?
Yeah, I have, and a lot of it seems to square with the mind prophecy.
Sure does.
Yeah, it sure does.
It's uncanny.
It is. It is indeed.
Columbia, Mississippi we go. Carol, you're on with Whitley and Bob. Go ahead.
Hi, thanks, George. Thanks for another really intriguing show. This is a question for Whitley. We were talking a little earlier about